Thanks, Hazel. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We started a week ago with 18 of the very best snooker players in the world. Now there are just 2. Both guys backstage know exactly what it takes to lift this prestigious Masters trophy. But which one will reign supreme today? Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to find out. Let's get the boys on the bays! Please welcome one of the most colourful characters in the game. He beat 2-time world champion John Higgins in his semi-final yesterday. Last season he won the Welsh Open as well as the Masters here at Wembley. With his very own brand of juicy snooker, here comes the defending champion, the jester from Leicester, Mark Selby.
Mark.
And his opponent, a man who is quite simply a genius with a cue in his hand, beating a resurgent Stephen Maguire in the semi-final yesterday, bidding for a 4th Masters title here at Wembley, the reigning world champion and world #1, blink and you'll miss him, it's the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan!
Here we go then. This final is the best of 19 frames, 8 to play this afternoon. And taking the first stint in the commentary box for us are John Parrott and Dennis Taylor. Gentlemen, good afternoon. You get the feeling that neither of these men will feel intimidated by the other, and that for me is part of the appeal of this match.
Absolutely, Hazel. We're in for an absolute treat here this afternoon. First time these two great players have played in the final of the Masters.
Yeah, for the photo.
They both got a terrific reception when they arrived into the arena.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The first frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break. Put your cameras away now, please. Yes.
So it's Ronnie O'Sullivan then who's getting this final underway. Breaking off right-handed. He normally breaks off with his left hand. He was just checking with the referee how many frames they were playing. They're playing 8 in this afternoon's session. Should be fascinating, John.
Should be a classic, Dennis. We just we'll find a lot more out as the afternoon unfolds, but I do think this first session is very, very important. Certainly where Mark Selby's concerned. If he can get off to a good start and show Ronnie that he's playing at his best, and it's going to be very tough for him today, he'll stand much more of a chance.
Oh, that's a nice nudge. The jester from Leicester, when he came into the arena, well, with Rob Walker, our MC, they're going to have to put a bit of practice in with that handshake, John. Well, there's the total points. There's only 10 points separating these players. Now that is very close indeed, quite incredible really. Let's have a look at the safety success rate, both in the 80s, so that's fairly close. Mark Selby just slightly ahead. And look at that, both players in the 90s, 92 to Mark, 93 to Ronnie. And there's not a lot of difference in their highest break as well, so that tells you how close it could be. Is that going to be the case?
Well, that little nudge on the green that we mentioned, Dennis, has become pretty handy for Mark Selby. Ronnie's escape from the snooker there just clipped the red and has set it up for the corner pocket, so no problem for Mark Selby to knock this in.
One.
Just overscrewed that slightly, but lots of interested spectators. But there's Vicky, Mark's girlfriend. A nice little smile. Thank you, Vicky. It's going to be a fascinating day for everyone here at the Wembley Arena.
Yeah, she does very well to watch. I think I'd be a bag of nerves myself, Dennis. I've had such a personal involvement, so very good that she can do that.
Yeah, it's worse for the close relatives and family and girlfriends than it is when you're out there yourself, because you're just focusing on what you've spent years learning how to do. Now this is an early risk going into the bunch with pace when potting this. Hasn't worked out. Just a little bit more pace and he would have been on the pink there.
Mark Selby 4.
It's okay that one of the toughest shots in the game, when you've got the full table, when you're near the bottom cushion, to play that shot's very difficult. This was the shot that Mark played on the yellow. Played it with a lot of topspin and just come up a little bit short. Had the white have carried on. There's Hawkeye giving you a sort of indication of where he would have finished with a little bit more pace.
I'd hate to play that Hawkeye, Dennis, wouldn't you? Never plays a bad shot.
I just hope, John, that both players continue in the final the way they've played throughout this year's matches, because they both deserve to be there. They've played some superb snooker.
Yes, quite unusually for Mark Selby. He actually got over the line yesterday without having to go to a final frame decider. He had a 6-5 over Ricky Walden, 6-5 over Mark Allen, and then yesterday 6-2 over John Higgins. And Ronnie, well, he had a 6-5 against Joe Perry in his first match, and then after that he's been absolutely superb. 6-2 over Ali Carter, and then of course yesterday 6-1 over the world number 2 Stephen Maguire. Fabulous performance last night.
That's what Ronnie's faced with there, and it's the red, the left side of the table as you look at it. If he plays off the one just past the blue, he could cannon into the one on the left side of the table. That's why he's not attempting that particular safety shot. Double kiss is always on when you try that. And even if the red doesn't go into the left corner, he can still take the one that Ronnie cannoned into. Well, that is a possibility, but you'd need to be right behind it. I think the other one, even though it's a slightly more difficult pot, might be his choice.